Good evening, sir. Good evening, friends. We are from Ashok Leyland. My name is Lakshmana Perumal as a team leader. It's Saravanan from Mechatronics, Srihari from Process Excellence. Let me go to the slide and then first we will overview about the Ashok Leyland. World largest supplier of defense and logistics vehicle, and then fourth manufacturer of buses in the world, and 13th largest manufacturer in the trucks of global. So our journey, in 1967 we are the first introducer of double-decker buses, and 1978 rear engine buses, and then 1982 vestibule buses, and 2008 low floor buses we are introduced. Continued that 2017 we are introduced the IEGR, the BS4 vehicle. We are innovated for IEGR technologies to attain the BS4 compliance. Next, now recently we are launched for the electric vehicle, the supply to the State Transport Corporation. Our innovation journey is going on towards the BS6 journey. So, our the first truck and bus company outside of Japan to win the Deming Prize. So, this is our plant. All over the India we are having 5 plants. We are from Ennur. We are manufacturing for trucks and buses. In Ennur plant also we are manufacturing trucks and buses. Trucks and buses, three major category of aggregates. One is engine, and then axle, and then gearbox. We are from engine division. In engine we are machining for 4 components like a cylinder block and crankshaft and camshaft and cylinder head. We are from crankshaft line. So this is our state-of-art crankshaft manufacturing line. So we are installed this line in 2008. We are using for that gantry for loading and unloading, and then Landis machine for grinding operations, and then Alfing for induction holding operation. First in 2008 we are planned for a crankshaft line. At the time what we are thinking is that in future we have to install the best state-of-art manufacturing facilities in the world in the crankshaft line. We planned in that. Based on that we are installed in that all the facility. If you are going to all over the world, if you see the crankshaft line, this is the major machine. This is the major best machine they will be used in that world crankshaft line. So the same condition we are installing this line in Ashok Leyland Ennur. So this is come to our project. This is our project charter. So customer is the god. Customer satisfaction is the first. Customer satisfaction is focus to our future growth. So we are planned for the state pass rate improvement in crankshaft. So what is our problem means state pass rate improvement will be improve our on-time delivery, as well as it will improve the customer delight. So what is our defect is 73% only state pass we are supplying the crankshaft to the engine assembly. So it will affect the customer delivery and then customer delight. So we plan that improve the state pass from 73% to 90%. So what are the defects containing in the 73% of defect state pass rate improvement rate in crankshaft? So in our Ashok Leyland, if you are anybody's KRA, this is we will having a KPI, key process index. So this will be aligning to the top management. We can't able to set the KPI individually. It should be the branch of MD. So every KPI linkage to the management business goal. So this is a KPI linkage matrix. What we are showing that this is also we are addressing in that state pass improvement in the crankshaft. So this is a KPI monitoring sheet. We are monitoring our state pass improvement. What is the range in the existing before the project? So this is a P chart. What we are showing that before we are going to the project, we are monitoring our defects per day. How many outputs is coming? That based on the P chart, it's showing that our variation is inherent in the process. Not for there is no any assignable causes in that process. So based on that, we are taking that only 73% only our first pass rate was in the process. So this is a Pareto chart. What we are showing that. From the P chart, the major contribution DB hole excess is the major problem in our state pass rate affected. So first thing we will see about the crankshaft. Crankshaft specification we have to see this is for main bearing channels. This is for pin. This is our web. This is main bearing channel will mount on the engines. This is a pin for mounting on the crankshaft. So this is the distance between the main bearing and the pin is through. This angle variation from the dowel hole, the pin is index error. So this is a nomenclature we know, then only we go to the project. So this is our voice of customer. Whatever the problem they are facing related to the crankshaft, they will send the mail. We have to take the corrective action. Based on that, we can improve our state pass rate improvement. So this is the first problem as DB hole excess. So this is as is photo what we are showing that in every web. When we are doing the balancing the crankshaft in the final operation, every web should contain only the 4 holes. If it is 5 holes, it will be the NC. It will not pass to the assembly. So this is our process flow chart. In our process, we are doing the turning operation and then milling operation and then induction hardening operation, and then finally the stem dynamic balancing operation. This is the process we are doing the DB hole, the dynamic balancing hole in the crankshaft. This will be reduce the mass and then balancing the crankshaft to supply to the assembly. So this is the as is photo. First we are going to the in-depth analysis. First, whatever the process is operating as per the SOP, we are checking in that, go to the Gemba observation, we are checking the process. So this process is, the gantry will load the component and then it will be rotate. This is the final grinding operation component. After the rotated, the mass balancing will be checked by the machine, and then the drill will be done in the web hole. It will remove the mass from the crankshaft, and then after balancing it will be show that the component is okay, then it will automatically pass. There is no any manual intervention, only gantry loading and loading only. So based on that we map the process mapping, whatever the key process input variable to associate in this problem, and then key process output variable, we have to.
During the Gemba observation, we find out the three possible causes of metal component rejection in dynamic balancing machine. First one is spindle vibration. We check the spindle vibration, what is the value for, we find out the spindle vibration within a limit only. Within the limit only. Second one we go with driving bracket tightness. Continuously we check the 10 days driving bracket tightness. There is also within a limit 35 Newton meter. Continuously we check it. There is this also we eliminate this is not a causes for component rejection. And we go with the third observation point is spindle speed, set value and actual value. We check the set and actual value, any difference. There is no difference between the set and actual value. So we eliminate the spindle speed also. Then we analyze with the cause and effect diagram. We find out 10 possible causes. 10 possible causes. In 10 possible causes we already discussed in 3 possible in Gemba version. The remaining 7 is we are going to discuss. First one is machine malfunction. Machine malfunction we how do we check? Using a master component. This is a master component. Using the master component, we check the balancing, imbalance, both plane 1 and plane 2. Plane 1 and plane 2 reading in within a spec only. Plane 1 angle and plane 1 2 angles are within a spec only. So we will admit these are not causes for the component rejection. So next one we go with component clamping pressure. Component clamping pressure is 35 to 45 bar. So we check the continuously party numbers in sample size, which we get the p value is 0.7. So we find out that this is not a process for component rejection. Next we go with component clamping position. Component clamping position we get a feedback from cylinder re-switch. We check the re-switch position under sample size we taken. We get a value, p size value is 0.7. So we find out this is not causes for the component rejection.
So in the cost validation we will be verifying whether there is any variation in the pin diameter. So initially we collected 25 data and we sought out whether the data follows normal distribution or not. So we initially we tested for the normality test and by means of goodness of fit option, and we found out that the data follows variable distribution rather than normality because its p value is which one is greater. But still, even though it's less than 0.05, but still its p value is greater. So we plotted the process capability for variable distribution and we find out that the PPK value is 1.66. So the process is so the process is capable. So there is no variation in the pin diameter. So this is invalid cost. Next we go for variation in the index error. So in the variation of index error, we have this is between minus 0.167 to plus 0.167, and the values lie. We have collected 30 samples, and the values lie between the specification limits, and there is no variation. Similarly, we go for throw error. Similarly, the values lie between the specification limits, and there is an invalid cost. And next one, we collected this is a very interesting data where we collected the imbalance readings for each and every component which has been machined in the dynamic balancing machines, and these are the plane one. This plane one is nothing but these. This plane one is nothing but the imbalance ratings. This angle is what angle we get imbalance, and this plane two is nothing but what is imbalance ratings, and this angle is the angle at which we are getting the imbalance. So right now we perform the chi-square test to determine at what webs we are getting the holes which is greater than 4. So by using this chi-square test, we can identify that web number 8, web number 1, and web number 5. These are the holes in which we are getting holes in which we are getting holes greater than 4. So there is no the remaining webs we are getting holes less than 4. So we are not getting any rejection because of these webs. We are getting rejection only in web number 1, 8, and 5. Next, since we collected two data which is y is a function of x and x is nothing but the imbalance readings which is a continuous data, whereas y is a number of holes in the discrete data, it is countable. So y is a discrete one and the x is a continuous one. So we can't go for normal regression, so we go for binary logistic regression. So while going for binary logistic regression, we can find out the probability of number of holes increases as and when my imbalance readings increases. This is for plane 1 data. So as and when the imbalance in plane 1 increases, the probability of number of holes also increases, which can be rectified by means of this p value, which is exactly 0 here, as well as the deviance R square is 53.95, which means 53.95% of variation in my probability number of holes is being explained by this imbalance itself, and my odds ratio is 1.003, which means there is a positive relationship between the balance readings, imbalance readings, as well as my probability of holes. So similarly, you have plotted for plane 2, I collected data for plane 2, which tells us the same p value 0, whereas here the R square 52.76, and this also explains my odds ratio is greater than 1, there is a positive relationship between x and y. So right now I have plotted the data in scatter plot to find out what is the minimum value of imbalance readings, which we have to set in the crankshaft for to machine not greater than 4 holes. So we found out that 1800 is the minimum number of imbalance readings in plane 1, because if at all we maintain 1800 imbalance readings, then the machine will not make a hole greater than 4. Likewise for plane 2, we have found out that if the imbalance is not greater than 1250, the machine will manufacture holes not less than 4. So right now our objective becomes to reduce the imbalance to less than 2800 in plane 1 and to reduce the 1250 grams per centimeter in plane 2. So right, these are the cost correlation, and the deep imbalance reading is the valid cost.
So, based on that, our observation analysis, so input component imbalance reading is a major factor for the number of holes is excess. So, based on that faulty analysis, we are going to evaluate that what are the causes to identify to eliminate this input component imbalance. So, first thing we are doing the input component product turning operation. In the turning operation, after the mass centering turning operation, we are doing that. We are maintaining the one of the critical parameter is 0.1. Run out of the journal is 0.1. So, we suspect that excess run out in that journals and pin, it will be leads to the imbalance reading of output component. So, we are going to taken the reading for that excess run out. We have taken the reading for there is no any major deviation in the out of spec. This is all within the spec. Then distribution is normal, histogram is normal. So then we go for the pin milling operation. This is a Heller one of the pin milling operation. In these operations also we are checking that input component run out. This is also within the spec. There is no any out of spec based on the control plan. Whatever we are fixing the tolerance. So next one is the induction hardening operation. This is out of the heating operation. The component may leads to bend or it will create more run out. So for that one of the critical parameters chuck clamping pressure. For in that place, if it is loose in the chuck, we are checking the tightness in the jaws and all those things. We are checking that 40 Nm torque should be tightened the induction hardening machine jaws. So we are checking the tightness. This is also the within the spec. There is no any deviation in that. And then we are coming in front input operation, mass centering operation. We are checking in that because of this is the operation input rough component. We are checking the balance and then we are putting the sender. Based on the sender, we are removing the material in the subsequent operations. So in the operations, we are checking in that run out of the clamping component. So this is also it should be within the O5. So we are checking the run out. It should within the limit. So next one is this is for a rotor. This rotor will clamp the component. Then the component will rotate and then imbalance reading will be checked. Then we will check the rotor balance reading in that machine because of this is the one of the checking methodology in the machine condition. So this rotor balancing it should be within the 150, but it is exceed the limit. So this is one of the major causes. Now we have identified in that imbalance reading. Excess so this is for one of the causes for that high excess. So why the rotor imbalance is high? So we are suspecting that we are listed on the following reasons in that faulty analysis. First we will check in that put the master. We checking the machine. So master reading is also okay. It's a fine machine. This is also plane 1, plane 2. The master calibration, the checking validation done. So found okay. Then we check in that if any coolant or burr, we are using the cutting tool, we are using the coolant. So, if any coolant or burr inside the rotor, so the rotor imbalance may high. So that's why we are checking, remove the guard and then we are checking the coolant inside the rotor, but there is no any coolant inside the rotor, and then yes, there is no any coolant and burr. We are checking that there is no any foreign materials, and then we will check the child parts of the rotor. This is also one of the child parts for clamping material. This is also one of the child parts in the rotor. So we will check the each and every child parts of the rotor. Is there is any balance because of in the mass centering machine, all the rotor should be in zero mass balance. Then only it will zero mass balance in the component. So we will check in the gear. So based on that, we will check every gear. We check in that some difference in the gear weight. So all the gears we are checking one of the gears is a deviation from the mean value, because of one gear is 1404 grams, one gear is 1459, one gear is, the two are same, one is different. So based on that, plane one also we have found that this is the one of the root cause, that mass centering excess mass. Based on that, we will remove the gear, and then we have maintained the even weight. This is for trial and error. We have taken that remove the gear based on the supplier instruction. We have discussed with the supplier, remove the gear, and then we will remove some material, and then we have maintained all the gears are same weight, and then we will assemble the gear in the rotor. Based on that, again we will calibrate the rotor. But it is not it is reduced from 850 to 750, 850 to 300. So we are the supplier, we will give the instruction whatever the exercise we have done in the machine, but then we will get the feedback. But then what?
2 minutes more, please.
Yes, sir. They are giving the guidance. So you remove and maintain the balance in the rotor, and then if you are doing the fine tuning, you can add the weight in that area. Based on that, you can zero balance in the rotor. So they are given the guidance. Based on that, we will do the exercise. But we couldn't able to do. We couldn't able to, whichever the place, whichever the degree, we can add the weight. So based on that, we will do the DOI analysis. And the DOI analysis, we do the DOI analysis. Based on that, we will going to we plan to reduce the rotor imbalance.
And the reason why we went for general factorial full experiment is that we have two factors, and one factor is maintained at 3 levels, whereas the other factor angle is maintained at 4 levels. So we can't go for any standard fraction experiment. So we went for full factorial experiment, and since we have 4 with 12 runs, and we had 2 duplicates, so we had 24 runs for this experiment. And in those 24 runs of experiment, we find out the counterweight angles both are significant, whereas the interaction is also significant, and the R square value is 99.41, which is maximum here. And when for the interaction plot, the interaction plot tells us there is presence of interaction is there is no parallel lines present in this interaction plot. So we went for the optimization. The optimization level tells us that the counter angle should be placed at 15 grams, and the angle should be placed between 270 to 360 degrees. This for plane 1. Similarly, when for plane 2, the same experiment is being connected, where we can find the counterweight angles and the interactions to be significant. And this also here also we can found that there is no parallel lines, the interaction exists between the factors. And this also been subjected to optimizer, which tells us that the same 15 gram must be plated in the 270 to 360 quadrant of rotors. So after the improvement, we can find out that the imbalance in the semi-balancing rotor has been significantly reduced to less than 150 gram per centimeter. So this is the one sample test to check whether there came less than 150 or not. In plane 1 and plane 2, both the values are less than 150. Whereas in DB machine, we have checked what is their imbalance. In plane 1, it is less than 1800, whereas in plane 2, it is less than 1250. Now we go for the T-chart of this rejection. Because of dynamic balancing, it reduced from 21% to 0%, and the straight pass improved from 72% till 90.6%. And we can see the process is stable.
So based on that, now we are.
So your time is over, please.
Yes, sir. Now we have done the improvements. Then based on control phase, we are adding to the PM maintenance checklist. In future, we will check the rotor calibration also while doing the PM. So then only we can avoid the future error. This is the control plan. Everything is also updated for the future instruction. If any deviations been taken, identify the control plan, then they will do some corrective in that. So this is for our voice of customer. They will give the feedback after the improvements. So this is our sponsor feedback. So the finance is IED waiting. Finance is saving 2,88,000. We are saving for that state pass improvements. So I would like to thank my plant head and the judges, and then my friends and CFT members, our department head, to given this opportunity. Our LSS teams to give the guidance to our DOI analysis and all those things. Thank you.
Can you go to slide number 31, please? Yeah, you concluded that pressure is not it's not influencing your result. Yeah. What is the least count of this pressure gauge? Huh? What is the least count of this pressure gauge? See, actually, your maximum range, your fitting range is 35 to 45. So you have to go to closer least count pressure gauge, or you have to use for digital, because this you are taking some decision whether it is influencing our result or not, right? So in such a cases, we have to choose the pressure gauge in such a way that which is nearer to our release count, or we can go for digital kind of thing of because we are completely we are eliminating this particular thing. No, based on this only we are eliminating. We don't know exactly what pressure we are getting with this kind of pressure gauge, because you have taken range for 200 bar and there you both are 200 bar range pressure. Agreed, but because now you have to go for lesser release count, right? Because our range is 35 to 45. So that is the one thing. But another thing is that imbalancing is reason. That is dynamic balancing decide the number of holes, right? If it is HS mass, if HS gram, definitely one hole will be did. It is not one hole. If it is more, it may go over to 6 hole also, provided that tool approach is there. So it is straight away it's yeah, because further if tool approach is there, you can go for 6 hole or 7 hole also. But what I am trying to say is, because hole is not the deciding factor for your count, because it is, if it not one of the experiment you counted that if more than 1250 grams, then it is creating 5 holes. No, sorry, no. What I'm trying to say is, see, two things. One is that hole cannot decide that it's a defect, right? Because of the mass, or when you are doing dynamic balancing, that mass is deciding the number of holes. Agreed. No, it is excess material only. It's deciding your factor, because you will come to know after 5 drill only that component is defect. That is why we are not trying to calculate that particular journal is having more weight in other criteria. That's what I'm trying to say. Because one process unnecessary we are holding. Your savings, you are taking 2.88 lakhs. I'm telling it may be much more if you predict before that. You are allowing drill to happen. Then we are trying to find out. No, because mass and see here, root cause is mass. Because of excess mass is there in particular portion, it is drilling and removing that at mass. Okay. So what I'm trying to say, we are making defect because we know why drilling is happening because of excess mass. So we cannot know other parameter means we can include one of that to find out the area, that particular area. No, I'm talking in the kind of semi-finished stage itself. No, okay. Second thing I'm asking, that mass is due to density of the material or excess stock? No, that's what. Whether density is getting deferred or excess mass. It means raw material extra there. Yeah. So what now at present what you did for fifth hole?
Fifth hole we will get the clearance from the TD and then we will give some other particular model. We are not able to give the regular model in that.
Agreed. No, that anyway fifth hole also you will use.
Yes. But we can't able to use the regular model.
Sir, but we will have to give
inventory and then state cost will be affected.
No, it cannot be inventory because if it is not usable, you have to scrap it. If it is usable only, it will be an inventory. Yeah. No, what is your straight pass percentage?
No, now it's 94%. Some other reasons also we have taken the correct like scratch mark, something else, which will affect the straight pass. We have taken the correct some other.
Fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think we are running short of time. So